Hello everybody, Andrew Casey at Hypersanity Books. New announcement, we have a new channel that we've opened. Those who are young authors and young readers within this channel, I have another channel opened up. It's going to touch on a lot of writing advice and suggestions and tips for a younger audience. We just started, I'm in the works with a couple videos at the moment, and they'll be uploaded soon. Otherwise, for now, we're focusing on an argument to AI your artwork for covers or not to. I have my own opinions, and I'm going to touch on some good and some bad, and ultimately my ultimate opinion at the end. Otherwise, let's get into it. Number 10. Cindy Kep. Cindy Kep is someone I've kept in touch with. I reviewed one of her books on my channel before, and she has written a few more, and I don't mind her comic work. She has a few books that she has written on how to write. She's very talented and quite intelligent. With her, she brought up an argument within another discussion through a certain group, and I wasn't quite answering the question properly, because I talked about AI as a tool, and the big question, are we replacing artists with AI technology? And is there another discussion with this point? How are certain artists going to be compensated when their artwork is completely plagiarized? And it was a different way on where she was coming with her point, and I didn't quite grasp what she was saying because we're not talking face to face, it's just in messages. And I can see where she's coming from. What if we used AI to, say, recreate a Picasso? And will it end up becoming the potential to replace the artwork, to replace the artist, and then their hard work to create a certain art style is no longer relevant? It's quite scary in some ways the way technology is overtaking, and then there are some arguments where it's still a tool that can be useful. Number 9. Playing on covers. There is a video that I found on using AI to create potential stories for Goosebumps. It takes some of the original artwork and concept of the covers and has a different picture and description. I found this is an interesting approach. I like using ChatGPT to come up with titles and generate different synopsis for a potential book. So I do think there are some people who have a lot of skills with the different types of AI art programs out there. I've tried a few types and I'm just not quite as talented as what some are. And that's just being honest. So I think there is some potential for someone to create consistency within their work. Number 8. Colouring in books. There is a market for colouring in books. I saw a few videos that have shown that they're able to generate different types of artwork and choose the best. I think there are some who can do it quite well. I've used a few different programs most of the time, and being honest, my Tyrannosauruses have 6 legs and multiple arms and limbs. I just can't get it right. However, there are people who know how to use the programs well. I don't know, is it me or is it the program that has the problem? Number 7. Potential book. Every second weekend I have my son, and with a bit of homework and other things to get his English grades up, we're working on writing a book together. I've also played around with some cover work in my time, so when I see him again, I'll present some of my findings. However, it's not working out the way I thought. So will show the pictures as I'm talking, and from here I added in some extra prompts and then add into, say, the number of characters. I've also explained I like the purple auras, it works well, but working on some of the different characters and the type of magic within the story, can we change the colours to be more suited for the characters? And it kind of picks up and doesn't pick up. Within the long story short, I also get annoyed when I see the text being completely perfect and completely bizarre. So in some ways it improves on what you've already typed in when you're reprompting, and maybe that's something I need to learn, is reprompting. Number 6. Background remover. Okay, here's another thought. Use AI to generate some characters and some looks, and use the background remover. I have done this, and here's a few photos where this is potential books, and this is some of the background from being removed to create different artwork. Is it good? Not really, but it's still something more to play around with. Is there potential here? Who knows? I'm just asking questions and putting things forward, more rhetorical. Just present something and see what you come up with. Number 5, uniform in your covers. Okay, can we keep covers in a uniform using AI? I don't know. I think sometimes when you look at a uniform cover, like with the original Goosebumps books, I love those covers. I also liked how they were different with the Choose Your Own Adventure books and so on. It was recognisable, though a little bit different with its colour. Its colour scheme was unique. And with this consistency, I think there is potential with AI to keep some consistency. However, with some templates, that's not necessarily the case. If you do work in with different publishing houses and have a uniform cover, like I've done with Dark Sparrow, with the way the words are positioned and the spine, it will be easy to replicate for the next book. Also, our Hypersanity books logo is on the covers, and that's something that can keep consistent when dealing with a publishing house compared to rebranding. Though Kindle Direct Publishing and BookBolts and some other programs are not too bad to use, so maybe AI has its place with creating covers. Number 4, character consistency.
Also pay attention to the hands as well, and be sure that all the parts of the characters are complete and look like a human being.
Again, I've seen some channels that have talked about using the programs to create consistency in their characters, where what they have prompted and put in for a character has come out a certain way, and they're able to use this in a children's book, for example, to keep consistency in the character throughout the whole book. Number 3, standalone book. Alright, if you are writing a one-off book, a standalone book, this may be an alright option. There are some covers I see out there that are plain Janes, and with this type of cover, I think AI absolutely has its place for a quick product to be created if you're a good, fast writer and just getting to uploading quickly. So I think sometimes there can be potential to cut out the middleman. I, again, don't agree with that entirely, but for some people that might be what works for you. Though, where is the other point with too much consistency? Which brings me to another point. Number 2, too much consistency. Alright, this is one of the big ones for me. I have seen some authors out there, and especially some indie authors who do a lot of Kindle Direct Publishing, and they have a book series where you have the exact same type of cover, the same background, and the character on the front is almost not doing anything different from book to book. I don't like this. I like Michael Aron. I don't like what he's done with the good Necromancer series. I also find there are other authors before AI was big who have done the same thing, and again, you can't tell the difference between the book except that it's got a book number to it or a simple title. Again, even Twilight book cover between each book, I am annoyed with it. It doesn't grasp me to it. But again, there are some books that have its consistency that's good. But again, back to the argument of constant consistency, I have seen some book covers that are just keeping consistent too much to not be unique from book to book. Number 1, final thoughts. Alright, my honest opinion, and this is where I stand with it. I would say through everything discussed, I would say yes, use some AI to create some potential artwork to give to an illustrator to finish the final product. And if you have someone you work in consistently to say, create book 1, and now that we have this template, let's replicate this to keep the books to cover work in uniform. Now, for Dark Sparrow, yes, 3 different photos and some prompts a bit of communication. And I said, like, have the characters in these positions. So it was a bit of work, and the artist did a fantastic job. The only two things that didn't come out with the first draft was Hope. His uniform was black instead of green, like it is. And Dark Sparrow was written to be black. So her outfit ended up being grey, because I also said, create the artwork in your image. So with Dark Sparrow, my wife loved the way the character looked, and that was history in the making. Now with Jane Turner, she is actually based off someone I know, and she's into motocross, so this outfit is actually designed from her custom outfit for motocross. Also, a photo of her doing something with her eyes and a certain look is something I gave to the artist, and then another female with her hair a different way. So 3 different photos, one of the person, one of the behavior with the facial expressions, and one of her uniform. And then the artist created a work of art. And it's the same for every single character on that cover. Most of them are actually based off real people. So like this one with the red arms, Nigel, the oxygen thief. I like what I did with the cover. He was based off a real person, though using the word oxygen thief and relating to a friend is kind of a bit of a dick move to do. Gave an idea of a outfit and the cybernetic arms. So that was actually 5 photos, 3 photos just for the arms, but 5 in total. And said, create the artwork in your image. The hair was changed a bit differently, and history is in the making. So you have to, if you are working in with an illustrator, give them a bit of leeway to be creative. Then with the whole experience creating Dark Sparrow, I enjoyed it. And with the potential book Mystic's Apprentice, and there are a couple more in the works, I like the character Trinity, who's a mystic. Now, a mystic in Dark Sparrow has the abilities of learning what it is to be a cleric, a sorcerer, and a scion for psionic powers. And a mystic is a mix of all 3. It's prestigious. So, within some of the artwork for the potential book coming forward, I would rather it be more about the purple is refined on dominance within all 3 arts, whereas some of the other mystics in the book, one's going to be a dominant cleric, so his aura is going to be more white. Another one's going to be a dominant sorcerer, so his aura is going to be more red. And then another female character is going to be dominating as a scion, so her aura will be blue. So some of the consistencies, I'm not going to get what I want with AI, though, as a tool and a bit of a play to say to my son with the cover, hey, what do you think of some of this? Can we come to something with what we have here and give this art to a professional to finish the job? And that's what it's about. I think use AI to create something to help assist you, but ultimately rely on the professionals. I say the same for ChatGPT. Use ChatGPT to help you with some of your writing, but always go to someone who is a professional to help finish your manuscript. Otherwise, that's it for today. Hit like, subscribe, comment. I have another channel I've just started, Hypersanity Books for Kids, because there are some people who have reached out to me and some content that is not appropriate within this channel. Some of the case study videos can be a bit more overwhelming, but for some of the other writing advice, and if you are looking at writing books for children or for the younger audience, maybe this channel is for you as well. Otherwise, I'll leave a link at the end, and I'll see you all next time.